everybody, welcome back to the Beach Bum Bookworm. I am Tiffany. I'm so glad y'all found me again today. My channel's all about cozy mysteries and romance books, and today I'm here with my cozy mystery recent reads. Okay, it's my August wrap-up. I'm running late. It's my August wrap-up. I have a couple confessions. One, this is the month of confessions. I confessed I did laundry, or I do laundry. Now, I confess that I shower, and that is why my hair is wet. I am not a fan of blow drying my hair. It just doesn't work for me. And so here we are. Okay, so now we're here with my August wrap up, and it was a great month, so let's just get right into it. We're going in 3, 2, 1, go. As always, please remember to hit the like, subscription, notification bell. Those 3 buttons help us out tremendously. It costs nothing. Support is absolutely free from y'all. It not only helps us out tremendously, but means a great deal to us. Thank you so, so much, because I'm just having the time of my life. I hope you guys know, because I don't think I put into words how grateful I am for the support and the community and everything, because it's just been a ride. Okay, so the first book was Doe or Die. This is the 5th book in the Bread Shop series by Winnie Archer. I just interviewed Winnie Archer. She is so interesting. She does so much cool stuff. She also makes covers. And I heard from a birdie, Paula Charles, that her new book in her Hometown Hardware series, number 2, Ask Me No Questions. I'm going to put it right here. Winnie did this, and it's one of my favorite covers. I love it so much. Okay, so she's such an interesting person. She has a ton of different series. She also writes under Melissa Bourbon, so please go check out her, go follow her. She's amazing. Okay, so Doe or Die. There is going to be a reality show of the Yeast of Eden, and I'm loving the reality shows coming to Cozy Mysteries and wanting to do, something of whatever their particular theme is. So in this case, it's a culinary reality show, and everybody's excited. Ivy's excited. And everybody's begrudgingly excited. Some people had to be talked into the experience, but and one of the cameramen ends up dead. And nobody has any idea. From what Ivy knows at the beginning, there's nobody in town knew him. There would be no motive. It's just like a senseless crime. I mean, all crime, but you get what I'm saying, right? And so Ivy's figuring out what is going on. I love this series so much. I love Ivy and her relationship with Elia. I can never remember how that name is said. It's Elia. And the two of them together, I love their relationship. I love her relationship with the retired school teacher. There's a Mrs. Brenham or something like that. It's just the characters and their relationships are written so well. Her love interest Miguel is one of my favorites. It's just such a good series, and the bread recipes sound to die for. Oh my gosh, check this out. It's the Bread Shop series by Winnie Archer. So good. I gave it 4 cups of coffee. Next up is the Main Mutiny right here. This is the 23rd book. This is the 23rd book in the Murder, She Wrote series. I read this for the Murder, She Wrote readathon. This is by Miss Jessica Fletcher and Donald Bain. This one, Jessica is trying to do a story on local lobstermen. There had been some discourse between the lobstermen, and they do not want her sticking her nose in where they don't think it belongs. But alas, Jessica, she is our gal, and she is persistent. And instead of the article, she ends up in the midst of all sorts of shenanigans with murder. And I gave this one 4 cups of coffee. I did really enjoy it. Next up, keeping with the Murder, She Wrote readathon, I read Manhattans and Murder. This is the 2nd book in the Murder, She Wrote series by Miss Jessica Fletcher herself and Donald Bain. And this one was really fun because it was set at Christmas, and Christmas in New York. Fabulous. Okay, so Jessica is in New York to promote her new book, and she sees a Santa on the corner, you know, the one that rings the bells, and Salvation Army, I believe. And she recognizes him. And this is someone she recognizes from Cabot Cove, who is involved in some drug smuggling. And I don't remember if she thought he was dead or what, but there was this oh Nelly moment from both of them. He was like, oh no, I've been recognized. And she's like, oh hey, oh my gosh, that's, I think his name was Waldo, because I love that. I thought that was, I don't know, I like the name Waldo. Okay, so I was like, so there was this oh Nelly moment from both of them. And he was like, please don't blow my cover. Please don't say anything. I'll meet you later. I'll explain everything. Just go quietly, you know. And so she plans to meet him later, and she is standing across the street waiting to cross, and he is still, you know, in his Santa costume, ring the bell, and somebody walks up to him to like put money in the thing and shoots him. And they're on the street in New York, or kills him. Yeah, but I think he shoots him. I don't remember. But they're on the crowded street in New York, and Jessica's the only witness. She even like berates people. She's like, I can't believe you people. There's no way you didn't see this happen. And they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. You know. And so it kind of takes off from there. There are some twists and turns. So just know it was really, it was a fun one. I really, really enjoyed this. I gave it 4.5 cups of coffee. Great one. Next up, I read one more for the Merv She Wrote Readathon, Dying to Retire, right here. This is the 21st book in the Merv She Wrote Readathon by Miss Jessica Fletcher herself and Donald May. And this one, I gave 3 cups of coffee. I just didn't like it as much. She's in Florida. She's in Florida for a funeral, and she finds out that her friend that she's there for the funeral for may not have died of natural causes. And she kind of does some sleuthing. I don't know what it was. I just didn't connect to it as much as the other two. I gave it 3 cups of coffee. Still enjoyed it. Next up, I read the first in a series. This is not on my list of 24 to start in 2024. However, this was from an author who I've met a few times at Malice, and I really wanted to support her. She's such a sweet lady, and I'm so glad I did because I really, really love this one. I gave it 4.5 stars. It's Dial M for Meow. This is the first book in the Bookshop Kitties Cozy Mystery Series. This is by Ruth J. Hartman, and our main gal is Christy. And Christy was living in, I think, Philly, and her aunt calls her Aunt Betty. My grandmother, my Mima, is named Betty, so I remember that one. And she's like, hey, I need you. And Christy's like, well, it's kind of perfect timing because so much has happened. Her ex stole her savings, some other stuff, you know, that sort of thing. And so she goes to help out her aunt at her aunt's bookshop. And this is in a small town in Indiana. And Christy is a children's author, which I thought was really cool. And her children's book series is about some cats. And they are modeled after her 2 cats. So her 2 cats are famous. They are Pearl, and I can't think of the other kitty's name. Hold on, let me just look. Milton and Pearl. And so she gets to the bookshop, and when she gets there, she finds her aunt passed out. She doesn't know she's passed out yet, but like hit on the head and a dead body. And she's like, what in the heck has happened here? And when she realizes that her aunt is still alive, and, you know, she kind of gets her to woke up, and, you know, she's asking her what happened. Betty doesn't know. She's like, I don't remember what happened. And so Christy is just trying to jump in feet first into this new town and the new bookshop that she's working at, and figuring out what is going on, keeping her aunt safe. I absolutely loved it. It was so cozy, so cute, so much fun. And Milton and Pearl are adorable. People are constantly coming into the store, and they're like, oh my gosh. Instead of like, you know, us wanting to meet the author, they're like, I want to meet Milton and Pearl, which I thought was great because sometimes I feel that way. Like Theodore from the Christmas Tree Farm. Like, I would fangirl over him. Yeah, I would. I mean, he's not that kind of goat, but still. Really, really good. 4.5 cups of coffee. I definitely will continue the series. Next up, I read the 13th book in her Royal Spinus series. This is a favorite series of mine. Unfortunately, this was not a favorite edition of mine, just personal stuff. It was called Love and Death Among the Cheetahs. There is some of the stuff that I found hard to read. There is a blurb at the beginning about the author Reese Bowen, who I love and interviewed. She is fantastic. She says she knows that some of the subjects and the language and stuff was harsh, but this is the way it was in that time period. I get all that. I still didn't enjoy necessarily reading it. Just a personal thing. But I will tell you that it was really cool that our main character, and I don't know if it's a spoiler to say that, there's a trip to Africa. That's all I'm going to say, because if I say anything else, it might be a spoiler if you haven't gotten that far in the series. Love, love, love this series. It is one of my absolute favorites. Our main character, Lady Georgina, or Lady Georgie, is, when the series starts, 34th in line to the throne. She's now 35th in line to the throne due to another birth. And she is kind of at, a catch-22 where she doesn't want to just get married to, someone that she has been obligated and set up with, who is also another from a royal family. And yet she can't find a job on her own for a couple of reasons. One, she's a woman and in the time period. And two, she's from royal descent. So she's really not allowed to just work like us common people. And there's some parts of it that are laugh out funny. I just really, really enjoy that time period. I really, really enjoy the narrator for this. Now, the narrator does change, but the second narrator starts in, I think, book 11. And so I've done 11, 12, and 13 with that narrator. And I think that she is pretty darn good. So I will definitely continue the series. This just edition wasn't my favorite. And it was more about just personal reasons, the content, than the story or anything else. Next up, I read another new series, and let me tell you, hold on. So this author had reached out to me quite a while ago, and I had lost email and did not. I missed the email. I am so bad at emails, y'all. If you are watching this and you want to chat with me, I love chatting with you, but please maybe send the message to me on Instagram is probably the easiest, but you can also message me on Facebook, like DMs, like the private messaging. Email, I miss emails all the time. I think partly is me. Partly it's me. And partly is I do not like threaded emails. You get a response and it doesn't really notify you that there's a new email. Still on me for not looking. I totally get that. But if you want, to have a conversation, please try to reach out to me those other ways. Love, love, love chatting with you. I really want to. I apologize for anybody's emails that I have missed. Okay. So this author had emailed me and I was like, yes, this sounds fabulous. And it was. It is the first book in the Hollywood Treasures Cozy Mystery series. The first book is called A Killing in Costumes. I know, it's perfect for me, and I love this cover. This is by Zach Bissonette and Zach Bissonette. I hope I'm saying that right. And this one we have two main characters. I feel like, well, no, they're kind of both main characters. So their names are Jay and Cindy, and they were married, and they were soap opera stars in I think it was 90s. And they both come out as being gay. And at that time, unfortunately, it is hard to think that the 90s was that we weren't that far along in our thinking yet. They were fired from the soap opera. And I'm not going to get into my feelings about that. Okay. So they were fired from the soap opera. And so they still have remained the best of friends, which was so fun to see. I love that. I said that in another recent series. I absolutely love that. And they open a Hollywood memorabilia store, which is better than working on the soap opera anyway. And they sell everything that you can think of, from movie memorabilia to, celebrity memorabilia. And unfortunately, their shop isn't doing the best. And they are very different. So our main gal, I forgot her name already, Cindy, she is like the books person. So she really knows how bad it is. But Jay is more of like the just kind of seller and mover and shaker. And, he's very happy-go-lucky, but he doesn't know all the problems with the store as far as the money. And so there is this woman who is in her late 80s or early 90s, and she has a huge collection of memorabilia, and she wants to see it sold off while she's still alive, to see people appreciate all of the wonderful, mementos that she has. And so she's between who she wants to sell her lot to be able to sell it, because there is another bigger, I don't know, agency or company or something like that also wants this lot of stuff to sell. And they're much bigger than our Cindy and Jay's store. And unfortunately, that guy ends up dead, their competition, to get this lot of stuff. And there is a lot that happens here. There's a lot of suspects. Her money manager, because she was pretty wealthy, was gambling, and her son is kind of a moocher. And I mean, it was really, really good. And it has so much fun stuff about movie memorabilia. I absolutely loved it. I hope that there's more. Right now there is 2, I believe. So I definitely will check out number 2. I think there's a second one, but I hope that there is more, because this was a fun series, right up my alley. Next up is the first in a series that was on my 24 to start in 2024. Whoa, back it up. I know there was 2 in a row that weren't, but this was on my 24 to start in 2024. Okay, it is the Darla's Delectable Food Truck Cozy Mystery Series. So book 1, it was called Poison in the Pastries, right here. This is by Susan Harper, and I was dying for a food truck cozy. Get it? Dying for a food truck cozy? I know. I shouldn't try with the puns. I'm sorry. Bad joke. That didn't work at all. Okay, moving on. I love the idea of a food truck cozy. I was so excited for it. I will try the second one, but there was no sleuthing in this cozy mystery. So our main character is Darla, and Darla's friend works at Hilton Head, and she's like an event planner at Hilton Head. And Darla wants to start a food truck, and she's got the truck. It's being worked on. It's being fixed up, all that stuff. It was kind of run down. And when it's all up and going, so she has a older friend that paid for all of the repairs and some of the upgrades and stuff faster than what she thought she was going to be able to do. She was planning on not being able to probably start her business for a while, but then this older friend helped her out and invested in her food truck, which was really awesome. And so her friend that works at Hilton Head's like, well, I can get you on with the food truck day, and it'll be a great event for you to kick off your business. And basically it's, there's a bunch of food trucks, and one of the ladies that works in her best friend's office from wherever they work in Hilton Head is like, food trucks, and they don't belong at Hilton Head. We're better than that, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, some nonsense. And so what happens is that our main character's best friend that helped her out, she had just started dating this guy. She really liked him. Our main character, Darla, had just recently met him, and she's like, oh, he's sweet, and everything. And so the day of the setup for the food truck, there's a line, and her boyfriend comes up, and the best friend's boyfriend comes up, and he's like, hey, can I get, any orders? And he goes off, and she's like looking for her best friend, and she sees them on the picnic table together, and she can tell it's heated. And then her best friend smacks this guy across the face, and she's like, what in the heck is going on? And so later the best friend says, well, that guy ends up dead, the boyfriend. And of course, Darla's asking her friend, like, what the heck happened? And he was cheating on her. And we find out later who he was cheating with. But also, he was poisoned with a pastry from Darla's food truck. So Darla, of course, is like, no, ma'am. So she is figuring out what is going on, but she didn't really figure out what was going on because there was no sleuthing. So I will read number 2. I loved the premise and everything else, but there's got to be sleuthing. She kind of only was involved in the crime in the sense that it was her best friend's boyfriend. And then towards the end of the book, it was like out of nowhere with no sleuthing, there was a light bulb and she's like, I know who did it. And I mean, she did tell you how she pieced it together, but there was absolutely, it was just, I wasn't used to that. And so I will read number 2, but I'm not totally sold on the series. That was my last cozy for the month of August. How did you do? I know I'm late, so you've probably already, moved on from your August reads, but I would love to know your favorite. Give me a big thumbs up for this video. And until next time, may all your future reads be 5 stars. Bye, everybody.